Okay. So we've begun the recording, and the next step would be to ask if anyone would like prayer for our meeting. And hearing none, I'm going to go ahead and do my basic, very simple one. We ask our Creator for serenity to accept the things we cannot change, courage to change the things we can, wisdom to know the difference. That being said, I'll go ahead and begin the meeting. Welcome to the Connecticut General Assembly meeting. We are standing on our land and soil jurisdiction nation called Connecticut. We are here to restore our birthright government, a Republican form of government of the people, by the people, and for the people. A government whose primary duty is protecting your individual, unalienable rights, freedoms, and property. I are stepping forward to volunteer serve our fellow Connecticuters in pursuit of this ongoing challenge. We are assembled here to focus our time and effort by studying, chairing, organizing this organic body into a current working group of committees, affirming for the greater good of all the people of Connecticut's 8 counties. I thank you for stepping forward, reclaimer and restorer. So next we'll proceed to the Bivens decision. This meeting is private. Bearing false witness, misrepresentation, and posting inflammatory rhetoric in public forums is forbidden and shall be in an appropriate manner. To eliminate all conflict, false allegations, is there anyone in attendance at today's meeting who is a member or agent of any law enforcement agency, public agency of the federal, state, county, city, or township agencies present? Is there a response to the business decision for the first time? This meeting is private. Bearing false witness, misrepresentation, and posting inflammatory rhetoric in public forums is forbidden and shall be addressed in an appropriate manner. To eliminate all conflict, false allegations, is there at today's meeting who is a member or agent of any law enforcement agency or public agency, federal, state, county, city, or township agencies present? Is there a response to the business decision for the second time? This meeting is private. Bearing false witness, misrepresentation, and posting inflammatory rhetoric in public forums is forbidden and shall be addressed in an appropriate manner. To eliminate all conflict and false allegations, anyone in attendance at today's meeting who is a member or agent of any law enforcement agency or public agency of the federal, county, city, or township agencies present, is there a response to the Bivens decision for the third time? So anyone here under false pretenses, one who is working for any foreign government, including the territory of the United States, anyone who's being paid or coerced to be here, must fully disclose their presence and purpose now or leave the premises. If they subsequently show up as federal witnesses, they are discredited for failure to disclose. So that completes our business decision. Now we'll do a county roll call. So as I bring up your county, please say aye. We'll begin with Fairfield County.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Litchfield County. Hearing none, I'll proceed to Hartford County. Hearing none, I'll proceed to Middlesex County.
Here.
Okay, excellent. And New London County?
Here.
Good. And New Haven County? Here.
Here.
Excellent. And Tolland County? And hearing none, the final county is Windham County. Hearing none, that completes our roll call.
Point of order, if I may.
Sure, please.
It sounds like somebody has not muted their phone, and they have a lot of background noise coming through. I may be right, I may be wrong. I don't know.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, a little background noise. Please mute if you're not talking. That corrected our problem right there. Thank you very much. Okay. So next on the normal agenda would be committee reports. And we have a lot to report, but I'll check in with Linda, our treasurer, to see if she has anything to report on the treasurer committee.
I can give you the balance if you want. Do you want to know how much money we have?
Sure. Maybe
Yep, $1,589.69 is what we have right now.
Great. And then activity has been pretty minimal?
Yeah, we just had to pay, what was it, there was for the renewal of the domain. That was a while ago. And then I had paid for the what do you call it, the constant contact or whatever the email server that we're using.
Right. Dave Hendrickson, pardon me. Dave Hendrickson at the gathering wanted to know if there was any update on the Global Family Bank training. I had not heard anything, but I thought I would just check in with everyone who might have heard. Linda, did you hear anything? Or Kimberly, did you hear anything?
No.
No, but I'll check because I was away, so I'm going to do some paperwork tomorrow, and I'll check everything. I'll check all the two places where we get contacts from the bank and from TASA, and I'll get an updated information.
All right, excellent. Excellent, thank you. So then from the Jural Committee, which we're basically just doing study meetings and discussion on topics that are around. We don't really have enough people to begin organizing, but in the meantime we can still prepare by learning, and some of those really good source books I'll put in the chat, but recently got through Amazon and I think it might have been a book. I'll go ahead and turn on my camera here so you can see. And Anna was recently talking about this book as being a primary resource. So I don't know if you can see that. Well, the American Law and Procedure, and this is by James Parker Hall, and this one book has volumes 1 through 12.
Wow.
And the description gives is prepared under the editorial supervision of James Parker Hall, Dean of Law School, University of Chicago, volumes 8 and 9. Is that right? By James Dewitt Anderson, formerly a law faculty of Northwestern University. Anyway, he said that this was an extremely complete volume, and that every single jural assembly could use this as a reference to set up their courts. So I strongly recommend it. Once again, it's American Law and Procedure, and it's by James Parker. And probably get that included in the newsletter, next newsletter we send out, so other people. Well, then the other one was American Jurisprudence Second. Can you see that? Considerably larger volume. State and federal.
Tom, your camera's off.
It's not working? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably
No,
it's.
It was stuck on the first book. It didn't switch.
Ah, okay. Well, I have a pretty bad connection, so that doesn't surprise me.
Okay.
I'm going to turn off my video. I'll try and put the information in the chat. And
yeah, because I would like to. I'll make sure that it gets to the newsletter.
Right. So let's see. Are there any other committees that we could possibly get reports from? And I can't think of any. Maybe I'm missing something. I mean, we probably have already talked about our get-together, our gathering, which I guess you could call part of our outreach committee.
If I may interject one small thing.
Please.
I don't know if everyone is receiving the newsletter, but feedback is welcome. And obviously, whenever you're researching things or come across, one of Anna's articles that moves you, don't be afraid to, click on me or Anita's name or even Tom Phillips. Me or Anita is more direct because we're the ones working on the newsletter. You can always suggest that we add something to the newsletter that spoke to you, interested you, helped you, and we will put it in there. It's not just our newsletter, it's yours too. So we're finding that maybe a quarter of people who are papered up are actually opening the email, but hey, we're just going to keep putting it out, and hopefully it helps somebody with something. I yield.
Well, on that note, there were quite a few people who have mentioned to me that they did not receive the newsletter. I've forwarded it at least 2 or 3 times. What should be the official way that we can get those people receiving the email?
I guess the best thing to do would be to email Anita your proper email, and I think what she might need to do is, because it was a laborious task to take the original list that Isabel gave us in the a spreadsheet, and to put it where she could use it for this mail service. So it's possible that as she copied and pasted certain things or whatever she did, there's a random space where there shouldn't be, and that will definitely just a space where it shouldn't be would keep your mail from coming to you. So I will make a note of it. And Tom, maybe if you were to email Anita with the names that you forwarded to, and she could double check their emails.
Okay.
Perhaps, if you don't mind.
I should be able to do that.
I'm sorry. I hope that's not happening, too much, but I'll have to ask her if she could, just to kind of comb through it and make sure that there's no other.
Well, with the new system, we expect there to be, not to be perfect right out the gun. So. Yeah.
I got a question. Out of curiosity, how many people are on the email list?
Let's see. So there's around 120 people papered up, and about, I would say, geez, I don't know, probably 90 emails that are on the email list.
Okay. So is it possible, like I wasn't receiving it, and I've emailed directly with Anita, and her solution was to just delete my account out and re-put it in, and she's hoping that will help. But of the 90, look, we only have 7 people here tonight. How would we know who's not getting it of those 90, who's not getting it to spread? Because I'm hoping this movement explodes soon. So instead of 12 people at a gathering, we have, 100 or more.
One thing that does happen if an email does not reach its destination, we do get a notice that the email address was wrong, or there's no such entity. Sometimes people's mailboxes are full, and we get a kickback that says this wasn't deliverable because the mailbox is full. So we're not getting like a ton of undeliverable mail notices. If she does get that, she reaches out or figures out, reaches out to me to see if I have some different email, or, there hasn't been a lot of that. That's the only thing I can think of that we would know anybody's not getting it.
Okay.
Otherwise, they're just not opening it.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you think, Kimberly, that there's some possibility that it's getting blocked by people's spam stuff, and that we need an address to put into whitelist so that it doesn't get blocked?
I don't know if we can tell if it's getting blocked. I assume Anita would know better than me because she's more tech savvy than me. So I could send an email about this conversation to her and see what she says.
Right.
I know that Isabel had problems with that in the past, and that's why she had such frustration with the newsletter. I don't know if maybe, I don't think putting it out anywhere on the website is the proper thing to do because there's sensitive information that's only for ASNs, so we couldn't do that. But I was hoping to, and I think that's what's keeping us from putting a button on the website that says sign up for our newsletter, because it's just not for the public. It's for people who papered up. So yeah.
Well, I guess sorry, go ahead.
And then I didn't yield. But yeah, so I it's not a 100% foolproof little system, but at least it looks better and it's pretty user friendly, and it's true. We need to continue to figure out other outreach for sure.
Well, I'd say it's a vast improvement, so I wholeheartedly applaud your guys' effort. How does everyone else?
Agree. I think it's great. Now, especially that the title comes in, Connecticut Assembly, so you see what it is.
Linktree, I mean, there's a lot to be said about it. It's really good.
On there, yeah.
I need to do some additions to the Linktree because I think my whole block of social media connections, I've got to get on the Linktree. Last time I tried, I had some, I don't know if I was just tired or what, but I wasn't getting anywhere with the Linktree, and I was fumbling around. So I got to get back in there and try that again. But I know a lot of people are on Facebook and stuff, but there's a lot of just a few. The videos I think are great from YouTube with Neethi and Lisa, and like if you just watched those, you'll learn so much. And then Discord, I mean, that's where this help is, for things like IRS and whatnot. I mean, the community is in there helping each other, so You don't really have to be on Facebook to get help, but there is also a channel in Facebook that's very active, and Lisa on Ohio is in there, so she's giving excellent answers. Like, I think I know the answer to something, and then she gives like 2 paragraphs worth of hard facts, and she's awesome. I yield.
So then, if we have finished all our committee reports, which I think we probably have, we would move on to announcements. And we've already gone over our in-people meeting. Well, we kind of did that before the recording, but I think we've covered it pretty well. And with no John here to talk about the possibility of doing a booth at the Brooklyn Fair, which we did last year and the previous year, probably not going to go very far, but we could talk a little bit about that. Does anyone have any opinions about doing a booth at the Brooklyn Fair?
May I speak?
Please.
Yeah. Do we have any data on the success beyond just getting names and email addresses from people who are interested? Did anybody come through to get closer to education in this whole process, or was it just, faded instantly? I yield.
Well, again, it would be John Taylor who kept all that information pretty much.
Got it.
So, unfortunately, I couldn't give you a very good synopsis of all that. But I certainly think that there's both sides to it. And, of course, one side is, yes, we're trying to get new members, attract new people, fresh faces in to be educated and join us. But there is also the other side of that. When you're in public and you're speaking, you're learning a tremendous amount. And your persona, your ability to represent the assembly, I think dramatically changes. I mean, Kimberly, you could maybe give me a feeling about how your experience has been, and Eugene could probably do the same. And I imagine you could too, Dave. Anyway.
Yes.
I felt it was hugely beneficial to be at that event and explaining to people. So, so is it worth it? Well, I think that would be harder. Harder thing to assess. Maybe looking at it.
I think may I add a point to that you're right
Please.
in that score, because it has to do. It's similar to planting a flag, and if you don't keep planting your flag, when people go to the top of Mount McKinley or the Antarctic, they plant a flag. So I think it's important that we do keep planting a flag. That's just as good a place as any, I surmise. I yield.
Good point, Dave. Does anyone have any other announcements or new business they'd like to bring up?
Oh, may I?
Please.
It's not new business. It's just a question about business cards. So I remember when I had spoken to Elle, and she said that, I'm pretty sure she said she gave the artwork, the digital artwork to you, Kimberly. Do you have that? And then we could maybe order some cards, because I think we don't have any.
That's a good reminder. She was back and forth with Anita about that. Gosh, I don't remember. So I'm gonna email her on that too. I'll make an email for Anita and ask.
Okay. Oh, so you think Anita has the artwork?
I think she does, but
Okay.
I don't know what happened, if she's missing something, if she needs something else, so I'll ask her.
Okay. Okay, good. Yeah,
Bring it.
because, and even if we do an event, whether it's the Brooklyn Fair or anything else, we do need cards. And I have like maybe 3 left, and it was interesting because I was in Staples and I had to buy a couple things, and I don't even know how the lady who was checking me out, how it even got to the subject matter. She said it, something like working 2 jobs, and she went on to say how much tax she gets taken out of the 2 jobs, like a huge amount. Actually, I felt terrible for her. I was like, she's working 2 jobs and they're siphoning all this money from her. So I just, said, well, I said, you could correct your status, become an American state national, and then you shouldn't have to pay taxes. And she really perked up, And I was like, oh, I said, I'm all out of business cards to give you the website. I mean, I could have jotted it down, stupid am I. But anyway, she said, well, if you get that card or whatever, she goes, you know where I am, I'm here. And now I feel like an idiot because I could have just jotted it down on the paper, Well, I could still do that and go give it to her and tell her to check out the website, but I could also point her to some of the, like the webinar or just, a couple things where she could start to get, an introduction into what is really this is about. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to just think you're going to lure people by the whole tax issue because it should be way more than that, which usually you want to talk to people about reclaiming their proper, jurisdiction status. But of course, that just flew like out of my mouth like that because she was complaining about the taxes, and so it was like a perfect, entry point.
So Linda brings up a very good point, is outreach material, cards and pamphlets and stuff like that. We should have, in my opinion at least, we should have a supply of those that is accessible to all of our assembly members, and even if it's just the PDF that you can print from your home printer, at least you'd have something and some way that you could reproduce it.
Yeah.
And of course, if you have a PDF, you can email that as well and not have to even print anything.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Maybe we could put that in the newsletter. I'll ask.
Okay.
Well,
I think there are some. I think briefly, I think there are some PDFs on the Mega Drive, are there not?
yeah, I'm not sure if they're on the Mega Drive, but I know I have a couple. I don't know if I have the card, but we did have about a year ago. We talked previous to the prior Brooklyn Fair. We did have a discussion about outreach material, and we had looked at the Ohio trifold. I don't know if I have one where I can pull it up, but and so we were going to make a replica of that. So it's 8.5 and 11 sheet of paper, printed in color, and when it's folded into 3 leaves, it reads on one side, "Tired of tyranny?" Shows a picture of a face mask, the IRS logo, Republican Democrat logo. And then in the middle it says, "So are we, the people." Below that it has the civil peacetime flag and Connecticut Assembly, land and soil jurisdiction. And then when you open it up, you have an explanation of the flag in the middle, and you have a did you know section on the left. The United States, Inc. is a for-profit corporation, and it cites the code from whence that came, 28 U.S.C. 3002, Section 15. And it goes on, the state of Connecticut, Inc. is a for-profit corporation. check for yourself on Dun & Bradstreet website. And then the third bullet point is clearly these organizations are not lawful governments. They're de facto private entities who have overstepped their delegated authorities while also ignoring most public laws. Fourth bullet point, these corporations were only granted specific duties which they have never fully fulfilled honorably. They have gone bankrupt so many times it's criminal. The last bullet point, the fifth one, to fix these critical issues, quote, we the people, close quote, need to finish reconstructing our lawful government at all levels. Accomplishing this can only be done by status-corrected Americans who enforce all three constitutions. And then across the bottom, it reads, all the way across the bottom, it reads, we need critical thinking, quote, unquote, can do people to choose and declare their political status as American nationals or American state citizens and to actively participate in the reconstruction of lawful government. This is simply what's needed for self-governance to be successful over the tyranny. You are the one you have been waiting for. And I won't bore you with the whole thing, but if I flip it over, it's got a explanation of the lawful government of the people by the people, and all 50 states are in session, and then it has website links to our Connecticut Assembly and to the PASA site as well. Maybe I'll try my camera one more time and you can get a sense of what it looks like. So this is one side here. That's the inside that you open up to.
We're not seeing it.
Not seeing anything? All right.
Well, just, you know.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I'll turn it off. Anyway, I think I have a PDF of that, and I can probably send that to Kimberly, and she can put it in the newsletter. But, yeah, we need outreach material, and I wholeheartedly concur with anyone who has things that they really like, and you print it up yourself or recommend it for everyone to be printed up, and we can try and get that going at our next General Assembly meeting. We can potentially have a vote on what should be printed. So think about what you would like to use. Yeah, please, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that sounds good. You know, get the materials, and then we can distribute it to, you know, whoever needs them if we're doing any kind of an outreach event, even if it's, trying to think like where we could even just go. But, you know, I was thinking there was that Telegram channel that John told us about. I think you did. I don't know if you signed on to it. I did. And there's a lot of very active people, and of course they're active in combating, you know, the crap that's going on in the regular, you know, government. But it was you can't comment on the Telegram chat, which is a shame, because if you could get to somehow meet these people, because they're very super active and they're you know, really actually they're doing good work, you know, even though it is in the de facto side. But we successfully got the governor to veto that, what was it, HB 5002 or whatever bill. So I think there was pressure from a lot of people. I mean, I know I sent letters and whatever. I figured, you know, you might as well do it. And I know this group is active, and I think there's a lot of active groups doing stuff like that. And so if we could somehow meet groups of people like that, even if they want to stay like busy with the de facto thing, they might be interested in what we're doing. At least that's what I think, but I could be wrong. Anyway.
Yeah, I think any effort. Please go ahead.
Oh, good point. Just yes, agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, any effort we make is going to be, you know, a good step in the right direction. So yes, I wholeheartedly concur.
Yeah, because this is a group of people who clearly know that the system is really screwed up, and they're, obviously they're trying to do whatever they can to make their voices heard. So it would give, even if they continue, I mean, like you can engage, also, because we still should have a voice when something is being passed, because it does affect us, regardless of whether we're, in that or not. It will affect us. But then it gives these people another avenue that they might just feel empowered. So I don't know how to get in touch with that. Maybe I can play around with that channel and see if there's an admin or something you can reach. Not sure how to do that, but anyway.
So Eric has put in the chat that he would like you to put the Telegram link in the chat if you can. Can you do that, Linda?
Yeah, I think so. Let me see if I can do that.
The Discord, though, I think you have to be invited.
Yeah, there's some directions in the newsletter about how to contact him, but that was actually the old newsletter, so that's one of the ones that I have to update and add to the link tree somehow.
So one other thing I kind of wanted to mention, here I am looking at the newsletter email, and don't have it. But there, one of the Rumble channels, it's now available for you to watch the webinar replay, and it's usually pretty fast, and so you don't have to download it or do a bunch of other things. You can just pick it up on Rumble. Are people familiar with that link? Should I put that in the chat?
Oh, yeah, no, I use that link. Sometimes. I mean, I pick it up on the Mega. Not the Mega, I mean, what it's on. And then sometimes I go to Rumble for the replays.
Right. Is everyone else familiar with that, or should I put it in the chat?
Yeah, put it in the chat if you don't mind.
Sure. So there it is in chat. So we do not have any more normal business to cover unless anyone has more news or announcements. And we are at the 8:30 almost mark, 8:29. Unless anyone has any other things they'd like to discuss, I would ask if anyone has a motion to adjourn.
I have one question.
Please, go ahead.
Do we, as we are now operating as the land and soil jurisdiction on the county, we have a seat in each county, I presume? Is that what we intend or plan or ought have or not?
Well, as I understand it, the first step for us is the state assembly. And as the state assembly is formed, you naturally begin forming your county assemblies.
Okay. Question.
But the county assemblies, sorry, go ahead, Dave.
So in that case, do we have a seat for the state assembly?
Well, I'm not sure what you are referring to by a seat.
Well, like Hartford, Connecticut versus like Washington, D.C. versus like Philadelphia. Do we have a seat for Connecticut?
Well, as I understand it, when the assemblies were previously active, they were being held in multiple locations around the states.
Okay.
Now, I could be wrong with that. I certainly know it's not something I'm a deep authority on. But they are public meetings, and we do hold them. And as long as we're holding meetings, our assembly is in session. The in-session part is the important part, right? Because it only takes 2 people in the assembly to have an assembly in session, right? This is not a popularity contest. And we know even at the height of the American Revolutionary War, only 10% of the population actually engaged in trying to create our new government. So we know that most likely 90% of the people are just going to be too busy or too whatever to get involved and just won't have the time. So we don't expect to be, we shouldn't expect to be, getting everyone clapping us on the back and saying, there's going to be a large percentage of people who are just going to be ignorant, or just don't care, or too sick or too whatever to pay attention.
Got it. Thank you.
Hopefully that helps a little bit. But so as we get more and more people coming into the assembly, then naturally it gets closer and closer to forming the individual county assemblies. But the county assemblies, there's more detail involved.
I was just interested in whether there was a requirement or a need or a intention that is voiced about having an actual seat, an actual,
right,
town hall, if you will.
Yeah, as far as I know, that is not required. But as I said before, I'm certainly not a big authority on it. I've just never heard anyone talk about it.
I yield. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Well, we did get Eric joining us. Say hi to Eric and ask him if he has anything he wants to bring up before we adjourn our meeting.
No, I'm good. Thank you. Sorry about being late.
No worries. We all have a life to live.
That's true.
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Excellent. So thank you all very much for coming and try and remember all the things I'm supposed to do. And I'll see everyone on the Jural Assembly Tuesday. I think it's this coming Tuesday, next week. Anyway, hope you all have a great night, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. You
Thank
too.
you, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.